Hi, I'm Ken Rizza with Wood Turner's Wonders. Today I wanted to show you how to clean a CBN wheel if it gets pretty dirty on you. A lot of people call us on a pretty continual basis. You can tell when a wheel is really dirty is when it's loaded up with particles of metal and it doesn't seem to be cutting anymore, or not cutting very well, or maybe your tool's getting hot instead of being sharp. And so those are all pretty good indications other than a visual. When you do a visual, you'll see a lot of stuff built up on the wheel. It might be smoother in some areas than others. The wheel we're going to clean today really isn't that dirty, but it's all I got, so that's what we're going to do. So first of all, I'm going to take it from the easiest way to clean it, if the wheel's not real dirty, to the most severe approach to cleaning it if the wheel's really gunked up with particles of metal. It's important to use our slick stick product, I think, on wheels, especially if you're grinding softer metals, because they will accumulate in the pores of the wheel over time. But if you do a steady regimen of the slick stick, it'll make the wheel real easy to clean. And that's what's important, and that's what's going to give you years of service on your wheel. So first, let's go over what you're going to need to clean. So I mentioned already the slick stick, which is something you should have handy and available for what you're going to do here. Second of all, this is a product I like to use. It's called PB Blaster. It's been around for, well, hell, I've been using it for about 50 years now. And it's the letter PB and then the word blaster. Used to be available pretty much only in auto parts stores. It's a penetrating oil. I've seen it now and have purchased it in places like Home Depot and Lowe's. They have a lot of different products now for lithium grease and lubricate your garage door and all that stuff. So make sure you get the PB Blaster, not that stuff. There's other things you can use. I've had people tell me they've had very good success with brake cleaner, that aerosol brake cleaner, lacquer thinner, just all kinds of different penetrating things. And there's no right or wrong to do it. If you happen to have something that works good for you, go ahead and use it. The factory talks about kerosene, using kerosene, but I know that's harder to get these days. So these other options work perfectly well. So if you've got a relatively clean wheel, then you won't need the next step, which I'm going to show you again before we go into it. If you've got a really bad wheel that's loaded up with a lot of metal, we're going to use this drill to help clean it out. And you notice I have it in a pair of vice grips, which is probably a good idea because it's going to get warm when you do what I'm going to show you. And then the other thing is a good stiff brush. This is a wire brush. You can use a brass brush. You can use, a horsehair brush. Just make sure it's good and stiff because you want to work it into the pores of the wheel. So the very simplest cleaning operation that you can do, and I'm even going to leave the wheel on the grinder, which you don't have to. It gets a little messy. If you want to take it off, you certainly can do that. Is to apply a little bit of the PB Blaster, and I would just do one little area at a time, and rub the brush in it. You're not going to use a slick stick. You're just going to scrub the heck out of it with this wire brush and let that penetrating oil work into it and get out all the crud that's caught into the pores. All right, so when you do that much, and then get you a paper towel, or if you have the wheel off, you can run it under water. It's not going to hurt anything. And you might need to do it more than one time, but you can see it's starting to clean up there. Let's do it one more shot in the same spot here and make it a little more noticeable. And if you take the wheel off and let the stuff soak for a while, it's going to do a little better job for you that way. The other stuff that accumulates in the wheel is, if you're kind of like me and you don't wipe your tools off that good before you sharpen them, you'll get you know, tree bark and pitch and tar and sap and God knows what else that will get on the wheel. And so, you know, that'll also gunk up the wheel a little bit. And that's, you know, this type of operation will be good for cleaning it. So I don't know if you can tell, but like here's, you know, a dark side here. When you get over here, it's a lot cleaner. And you can drag your fingernail over it too, and if you start to give yourself a manicure, you know that it's done a pretty good job. So that's all you really need to do in the first type of, you know, dirtiness, if you will. Always remember when you're done, put a little bit of slick stick on there, just that much. I mean, just right across the wheel, very slightly. Put you another light coating on the wheel, okay? If you've got a wheel that's in really bad shape and really needs some serious cleaning, you know, that's where the drill comes in. And we'll show you what to do there. This is for, you know, people that have been grinding softer metals and stuff like that, and the wheel has really gotten loaded up with particles of metal. And the way you're going to do that is you want to take a small, relatively small bit, like a 5/16 or a 3/8 or something like that, and we're going to run the grinder and we're going to push this drill bit into the wheel and work our way across it. And that's going to get in the pores of the wheel and dig out what's ever in there. Make sure you use a smaller bit because you want to be able to work your way across and get it and go back and forth the other way. If it's real bad, after we go through all the steps we're going to go here, and you still think we can maybe get a little bit cleaner, we're going to take the wheel off, flip it around, and do the same operation again. I won't do it in the video because all I'll be doing is repeating what I did before, but that's another step you can take when you do this. So I'm going to start the grinder now. All clear. And don't be afraid to push the drill in there to the point of maybe even bogging the grinder down a little bit, because you really want to get in there and get that wheel clean. So we're going to shove that drill bit in there, and we're going to keep working our way across the wheel. Make sure you get a good quality drill bit. I don't think this one is that good a quality because it's throwing a lot of sparks. So hopefully it'll do the job for us. I started to bog the grinder down a little bit. And you can go back and forth, both directions. All right, let's see what we did here. Drill and slow it down. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to hit it again with some PB Blaster and the paper towel and the brush. Let's see if we knock some of that stuff loose. Try this little area right here. Let it sit. And try to use a circular motion or back and forth and front to back, side to side, so that you can work those wire bristles in every direction. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I think you can see, like, you know, here's the part that we've hit with the drill, but we haven't rubbed it yet, but I think you can see how much better the wheel looks here. I know I can see it. Hopefully it shows on the camera. And we just did it the one time. So if you reverse the wheel, do it again, hit it in the other direction, you'll see you have some pretty good results there. Let me look at it from this angle. Yeah, I think if you look in the light, hopefully our cameraman's getting a good shot of that, and you can see how much nicer the wheel looks. That's all you really need to do to clean it. And again, after you're done with it and got it as clean as you want, go back in there with the slick stick, run the grinder, get it going a little bit, shut it off, and then just go right across one time with your slick stick, put another light coating on there. And I also get asked, do I put it on the wheel? Do I put the slick stick on the tool, or do I put the slick stick on the wheel? The answer is yes. You can put it on both. Okay. You don't have to put it on the wheel every time you use it. If you grind your tools, and you don't even have to do it every time you grind your tools, but you can just stick your tool right in the end of it. And especially if it's warm, it'll melt around the tool, because this does melt at 97 degrees. I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, as always, we're available by phone, and I'd be happy to help you. I think that's about it. Well, give us a call if you have any other questions. I'm Ken Rizzo with Woodturners Wonders. Thanks for watching.